Oh my gosh.
Get real.
No. Y'all, just stop.
This is a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. We have a very special show for you today. We are looking back at some of the moments that got us fired up, like when Gwyneth Paltrow dished on sex with her exes and said that Ben Affleck was technically excellent, but she had more chemistry with Brad Pitt. We were divided on which one was more important. Watch.
But the chemistry is something that you can. Technical excellence is almost formulaic.
That means he's bringing it.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying.
It's formulaic. It's formulaic. It lacks imagination.
He hit the thing and it hit the bell. Boom.
Here's the thing. And technical.
Al and Jeff on this.
I know. I'm not going for
to have this walk through the park like we're just walking around an old time.
It's not a walk through the park.
Erica.
It's okay. You say somebody's technically excellent, it means that they paid attention in health class.
They're draftsmen.
Okay?
They're
they understand that there's a piece and there's another piece.
Technically excellent.
No,
Why
I'm saying that the chemistry is so much more rare. She lit up when she talked about the chemistry.
She did.
She went on a down when she said the technical excellence.
No, she did not go on a down.
Yes, she did.
She cleaned it up, and what she wanted to say was, ding.
Well, Gwyneth seemed to have ended the debate by revealing that Brad was the one she'd get together with again, but the guys weren't buying it. Watch.
If you want to find chemistry, you can find chemistry in a college classroom. You can find chemistry with somebody. I have chemistry with Tori. No romance there. You can have chemistry with anybody. But there are only a few people that are so excellent that throughout your lifetime, where you were on movie sets, you are in the beautiful foothills of Africa.
Yeah.
You were going all over the world. But you still call this one person. Why do you call this one person?
Listen.
Let him bring it home. Let him bring it home. He was
Okay, listen, Al Jackson, the king. But if you're actively listening to her when she's speaking, she's saying that Brad was really the person who lit her fire. That Ben might have been a great guy, and when I'm saying average for theatrics, I don't even mean average. It's just that he wasn't as special. He's not in that memory bank the way that Brad Pitt is in that memory bank. And I can tell you, as a woman and as someone who has a diversity of experiences, if I'm thinking about people who are really lighting my fire in my mind, in my memory bank, or currently, I'm always going to say that it's the chemistry. That's what I was saying to you. It has nothing to do with the hills of Africa. It's just what she said, and it's actively listening. It's actively listening to what she was saying, and that was my interpretation.
Well, listen, we got a hard out. Erica knows, and she brought you right to the end, so you can't talk.
I know.
That's a good strategy.
I stand by what I said.
What?
I stand by what I said. I really do think that she technically excellent means a lot more than she's leading on.
To you.
Jeff, I need your help here.
Well, listen,
this is
once again, we got a hard out. Well played out.
Yes.
Well played, buddy.
To you, not to women.
By the way, this debate went on for 2 weeks, and it's still going on.
It's still going on.
So speaking of debates, Al and Erica got into it when Al said he hated the phrase self-care because it seemed selfish. Here's another one.
I don't like the phrase self-care day.
Really?
I don't like it. No.
That means
Why?
that means
Very
you're lazy.
selfish.
You don't want to do anything
Because
today.
selfish.
I'm with you. I'm with Al. I got your back.
It is not selfish. We tired, okay? We have been journeying for quite some time, and I resonate quite well with people who decide to have self-care days, okay?
But isn't that when you just take
If
care
you
of
say,
yourself?
I'm going to sit on the couch and eat chips all day, or you say, I'm going to take a self-care day, it's the same thing, but yours sounds way better.
That's not the same thing.
I'm with Al.
Self-care is not selfish. Self-care is necessary to live and thrive, and many people, mostly women, have not taken care of themselves at all. I'm not trying to make it a woman
women
thing.
in here.
Mothers
Do not-
right.
That's such an easy way to
No,
win
it's
an
not.
argument,
No,
is
it's
to
not
pull
easy.
women into
That's
it.
why it's
I'm just
become
saying
a-
anybody can have a self-care day.
Albert,
but I'm just saying we do that all the time by just relaxing.
Who relaxes?
Literally,
Do I look relaxed?
do I look relaxed?
It's different. It's different watching us as opposed to being here.
Yes, my only
See how
point-
TV works?
My only point is self-care is a term that is it's a branding term. Being selfish is a proactive term for yourself. That I'm
Not to
going to do
women.
this for
Not
myself.
to women. Selfishness.
Yes, because they're
is
trying to
different.
sell things to women.
No, that we've been told we're being selfish in a historical context. Moving on. Making our way to the top of the heap at DBL, it wasn't always easy. We've all had those moments where we bombed an audition or two. Jeff and Al had the best bombs.
Oh, I can't wait.
Watch this.
When I interviewed for that Gatorade commercial, it's my famous one. I still drive by the baseball field where I auditioned in Beverly Hills sometimes when I'm there, and I'm like, oh man.
It hurt.
I was like a little out of shape, real quickly. A little out of shape. I went there with like a hoodie on, and everyone there was on the cover of like Men's Health at one point. And was like just jacked, ripped, right? And they're like, so I'm like, what do I do? To like hurry up and just run around, build up a sweat, get your abs all sweaty. I'm like, my abs? I'm like, okay, I was out the night before. I have no abs. I just started running. I grabbed my bag. I'm like, just around? They're like, yeah, just around. I was like, okay. And I just ran right through the bushes and I ran home.
It's so intimidating. Yours is like funny. Mine is super sad. You remember that show, Guy Code, that was on MTV?
Of course, I auditioned for Girl Code.
Yeah, I auditioned for Guy Code, and I had done a show called MTV Made a couple years before. So the woman that brought me for that show, she was like, I'm leaving the network, come have lunch with me. So we had a salad because I was getting ready for this audition. I think I told Erica. And so I had nothing in my stomach. And before I was about to leave, she brought over like a couple rounds of martinis because we had worked together. And so I had 2 martinis, but like didn't realize that was just a glass of vodka. And I went to my audition. I have no memory. When I walked out of the Viacom offices, my phone rang and it was my agent. He just goes, "What happened?" I don't know what I said in that audition.
Oh my God.
I have no memory.
Oh my gosh. Cringe, right?
My favorite stories are like bad audition stories. We've all had them. I would love to do a show that just focuses on celebrities, big shots, that's just like horrendous auditions.
You go to your car and
right.
like the walk of shame, like tail between your legs. I'd go get ice cream to like lift my
it
spirit.
hurt.
That's smart.
Yeah, I would sit in
Internally,
silence.
you feel dirty. Dirty.
We'll be right back.
In cases involving Harvard and the University of North Carolina, the Supreme Court struck down race-based affirmative action in college admissions, ending a nearly 60-year history of using race as a factor in creating more diverse student bodies. The court ultimately decided that the admissions processes at both schools are unconstitutional. In the court's majority opinion, Chief Justice John Roberts said that for too long, university admissions boards have relied too heavily on a person's race over their skills and the challenges they've overcome in determining who to admit. So let's verify. Are colleges now required to ignore all references to race in the admissions process? Our sources are Students for Fair Admissions, Inc. versus President and Fellows of Harvard College, Students for Fair Admissions, Inc. versus University of North Carolina, and Ben Barton, a distinguished professor of law at the University of Tennessee College of Law. The court's decision prohibits colleges and universities from using race as a determining factor in their admissions process. But in the court's ruling, Chief Justice John Roberts also says nothing in this opinion should be construed as prohibiting universities from considering an applicant's discussion of how race affected his or her life, be it through discrimination, inspiration, or otherwise. Which is confusing. Can race be discussed or not? So we called up constitutional law expert Ben Barton. He says Roberts' opinion means that schools aren't completely banned from considering race, but it puts the burden on the applicants.
If a student wants to write an essay about how they've suffered from racial discrimination and how they've grown from that, they're allowed to do that, and the university is allowed to read that, and the university is allowed to say, well, that seems like a good reason to let this person into the university.
So we can verify, no. The Supreme Court ruling does not require colleges to ignore all references to race in college admissions. It still allows colleges to consider race if it is brought up by an applicant as part of a personal experience, like a personal essay. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
I mean, I go in your house and you have a lot of hip-hop memorabilia.
Yes.
It's not original, but if you were...
Wow.
Do you want to move on?
The chicken has come to bite the pig in the butt.
I need a bumper sticker made out of that. We need to see Al or Jeff doing some exercises.
Real fast, watch this.
Can you do this? Oh my God. Welcome back. Our next guest became a viral sensation on TikTok after creating a series asking total strangers about the most fascinating subject of all, themselves. Earlier, we spoke with Hunter Prosper. Take a look.
What was the name of your first love, and why did you fall in love with him?
Oh, goodness. My first love's name was Vera. I fell in love with her, I think, because of her eyes.
Hunter Prosper is a nurse in the Pittsburgh area who talks to strangers.
My TikTok channel is about highlighting the fact that every stranger has a story. What's one goal you're trying to achieve?
My goal for today is walking the same distance I was able to walk before I went in for surgery.
During the pandemic, Hunter started asking his patients questions about their lives.
And by the time I made enough videos, I was sort of run out of patient stories, and I didn't want to make any patient stories up. So, the next progression was just people outside the hospital.
He began walking up to strangers and asking them the same questions. And the results surprised him.
What's been your happiest time in life?
Right now.
After that, even if the video hadn't blown up, I was still going to keep doing it because of the type of reception I was getting.
Feels like we're going to Florida.
Now Hunter is continuing the series known as Stories from a Stranger.
What is something you loved to do as a kid?
Well, I always liked ice cream.
Elena, I have our snack.
And there are so many more questions to ask.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Please welcome to the show, Hunter Prosper.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, what a way to connect after the COVID. This is amazing.
We need this.
We so do, because I'm a little antisocial and nervous, I'll be honest. We want to know how you got started doing this. What was the patient story that just inspired you to make these videos?
Well, I got started because I was feeling sad and burnt out. In the ICU, I think my strongest attribute was being able to talk to patients. And there was a period there where, as I was building connections with people, I would lose them equally as fast. And it started making me distance myself from people. I didn't want to talk to anyone. When I come home from work, I didn't want to talk to anyone. When I went to work, I didn't want to talk to anyone. So I think it was sort of necessity for me to start making these videos because it opened my empathy back up.
Yeah, survival.
So I wouldn't say it was any patient in particular. It was just sort of, I had to do something, and I guess this form of therapy is how it manifested itself.
Wow. Hunter, good for you, man. You know what? Do what makes you happy. It seems like you're happy, and you're making other people happy. I got to be honest, I'm a little jealous throwing a dart at a map and just going there. I got to tell you, I'm jealous.
Sam,
but
you can still do it.
What is the greatest response that you have gotten?
It has to do with the setting around the response. So I met this really kind older lady. She was taking out her trash, and I helped her take out her trash and asked her if I could ask her a question. And she gave me a beautiful response, and I left. A couple of days later, I come back, and she's gardening, and I ask her if she needs help. And she looks at me, and she's really bewildered, and she says, okay, yeah, and she doesn't remember me. I help her, ask her another deep question. She answers beautifully, tells me all about her life, a great historian with her life. And then I leave. A couple of days later, I come back, and she still doesn't remember me. So what ended up happening was I would go to this lady's where she lived, and I would help her like almost at least 3 or 4 times a week with any chore that she needed done around the house. But she never remembered me.
Wow.
So it was like I was building a new friend every single day, or I was building a deep connection with a friend every single day, and she was meeting someone new every single day. So I think that really impacted me, and I think I really value that relationship that I have with her now.
Thank you so much, Hunter. We needed to hear from you today. We appreciate you.
Really.
DBL Nation, be sure to follow Hunter on TikTok or Instagram at Hunter Prosper to see all of these amazing stories from strangers. Thank you again. We'll be right back.
Thanks for being
you.
a nurse, too. Thank you.
Thank you.
The 4th of July celebrates America's Independence Day. According to the National Retail Federation, 42% of Americans plan to watch fireworks or some kind of community celebration. Others may put on their own show. While fireworks aren't legal to purchase in every state, the American Pyrotechnics Association says consumers in the U.S. bought 436 million pounds of fireworks in 2022. But what happens to fireworks you buy but don't use? Let's verify. Do fireworks expire? Our sources are the Library of Congress, Julie L. Heckman, Executive Director of the American Pyrotechnics Association, and 3 fireworks retailers. According to the Library of Congress, black powder is what makes fireworks, and our sources say black powder doesn't expire. But when it's exposed to water, it does become ineffective. Julie L. Heckman with the American Pyrotechnics Association says fireworks packaging can degrade over time, which can expose the black powder inside to water. To keep your fireworks safe and sparkling bright for as long as possible, Heckman says they need to be stored properly in a cool, dry place, like a plastic container or a plastic garbage bag. Retailers Uncle Sam's Fireworks and Dynamite Fireworks agree. Dynamite Fireworks says they will last for years when stored properly. So we can verify that fireworks don't expire, but they do lose their spark when exposed to moisture. If you want to toss out some old fireworks, our sources say the safest choice is to let the fireworks sit in a bucket of water for a day so they don't accidentally ignite in the trash. With your Verify, I'm Ariante Till. Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter answers your questions, clarifies what's true and false, and even includes a daily fun fact. Go to verifythis.com/email.
Welcome back to DBL. Earlier, we sat down with the owner of the plus-size boutique, Juicy Body Goddess, a place where you have to be to something to do something. Not only does Summer Lucille cater to plus-size women, she lets them know that they're worthy of looking good and being loved. Here's a look back at her amazing story.
My name is Summer Lucille. I am the owner and founder of Juicy Body Goddess, which is a plus size only boutique, and I deal confidence. So my favorite line is, you gotta be to something to do something, which was one of my lines that initially helped me go viral in 2021.
You gotta be to something to do something.
The stigma around women being over 200 pounds is this or that. Well, in my store, I want you to know you have to be over 200 pounds to play. So I want to break the ice, and when they come in, we just treat them like queens and princesses and just cater to them. And I want them to walk out of there just feeling better than they did when they walked in. It feels good to be nice. It feels good to give somebody, a stranger, a compliment. You never know what people are going through. It makes me feel good. I don't know about other people, but I love uplifting people. It's like my purpose, and uplifting. Every compliment I give somebody is feeding this confidence angel inside of me.
Wow, wow, wow. Welcome to DBL, Summer Lucille.
Yeah. Hey, sis, hey. Okay, I'm like a fan. I've been following you, okay? So, Summer, very few people get to fulfill their purpose in life. How did your mom help you to fulfill yours, or at least to get the inspiration to do so?
Not only did she encourage me with words and empower me as just a little girl, she also lived her purpose, and she lived out loud, and she lived in confidence. So not only did I hear it, that you're the prettiest little girl to ever walk this earth, she also walked with her head up loud and proud. And not only my mom, my dad, showing how my dad showed love to my mother, and my aunties are divas. So I was just born for this.
Summer, we love your passion. This is an important question. What do people not realize about the damage they're doing when grouping overweight and unhealthy people together?
It's pushing a negative narrative that is not really honestly fair. I am the fattest I ever been in my life, and I am the healthiest. You would have looked at me 15 years ago doing a Kanye pepper diet, doing a cabbage, only cabbage, watermelon diet, boiled egg diet. I was very unhealthy. I go to the doctor, I'm very healthy, and it's very unfair to push your fat phobia and use that as a way to push your hate onto fat people while bringing that unhealthy argument into the conversation. Yes, there are unhealthy skinny people. There's unhealthy fat people. So nobody should really be telling you if you're healthy or not, unless it's your doctor. That's the only person that should ever tell you if you're healthy or not. So that I just do not like that narrative.
Beautifully,
when people bring that into conversation.
Beautifully stated. And bringing up just like pressure. You know, I think about prom. There's a lot of pressure when it comes to prom and finding that perfect dress. How did your own prom play into wanting to give other girls the perfect experience?
You know, I look back, and at the time of my life when I was going through prom, it was a very, very horrific experience for me. But I thank God I went through it, because if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be able to help these girls that I'm helping today. I know how I feel not to find a dress. I know how I feel to be the fattest girl in the room. I know how I feel to not want to sit in the front of the room because you think people are going to the classroom, because you think people are going to make fun of you while they're sitting in the back of the room. So I know this. So my life experience was able to and I healed myself so I can heal these other girls and show them that their insecurities are actually beautiful, and to embrace them and to move forward. And it's a privilege. And again, it healed me, because some of these girls lost their mother, lost siblings, dealing with cancer. And back then, all I couldn't do is find a dress. Now I look back on my pictures and felt I was loved, and I appreciate it. So it healed me while I'm healing these young ladies.
Yes. Summer, our viewers are loving you. I just want to end on this note. Beauty's Whole Health writes in, thank you so much, Summer, for your passion and mission of beauty.
So
and let me tell you,
Thank
everyone's echoing those sentiments. Also, DBL Nation, make sure to follow Summer across social media at Juicy Body Goddess 2.0.
Yes.
Her website, juicybodygoddess.com, and visit the store, which is right there in the Charlotte area. So to our Charlotte viewers, or if you're visiting, we'll be right back. Thank you so much, Summer. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
Well
Thank you so
deserved.
much.
Summer is the perfect season to grill or have a cookout, but could your meal also include a side of salmonella or other bacteria? We verify 5 ways to have a healthy picnic using these sources. Let's start with the prep work. Before making the food, start with a clean slate. Our sources say the first line of defense is to wash your hands and surfaces. Next, make sure to separate cutting boards, plates, and utensils for raw meats to avoid cross-contamination. Third, make sure to cook meats to a safe temperature. This is between 145 and 165 degrees, depending on what you're eating. Now that the food is properly cooked, it's time to dig in, but watch the clock. Bacteria multiplies quickly when food is left at room temperature, so either use warmers, put it in the fridge, or eat it fast. Finally, we all love chips and dip, but don't be a double dipper. You could spread germs and bacteria, which could make someone sick. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Julia says we need to see our Jeff doing some exercises.
I want some yoga for you.
Yeah.
Real fast, watch this.
Can you do this? Oh my God.
The Supreme Court has banned universities from admitting students based on race. The decision prompted outcry from critics who say it'll hurt colleges' ability to maintain a diverse student body. And they argue the court is allowing a practice that harms diversity to continue, legacy admissions. That's when a school gives a student a boost in the admissions process because their family members went to that same school. Studies have shown that at many elite schools like Harvard, legacy students are overwhelmingly white. So let's verify. Did the Supreme Court allow legacy university admissions to continue? Our sources are the majority ruling written by Chief Justice John Roberts and Ben Barton, a law professor at the University of Tennessee, who has also served on the school's admissions board. The answer is yes. The ruling allows legacy admissions to continue. The ruling dealt only with the practice of giving preference to applicants based solely on their race. And while legacy admissions have racial implications, they aren't solely about race.
Those may statistically result in racial bias. You can figure out which one it is. But that is not based on race, and so that would be fine. And it's the same thing with poverty. You're allowed to take first-generation students or poverty into account.
The ruling, in fact, explicitly left room for factors adjacent to race to be considered, saying, for instance, a student could write an essay about overcoming racial barriers as long as the consideration was based on their actions, not just race. So now, race-based admissions practices have been deemed unconstitutional, but other preferences, such as economic status, where the student is from, and legacy status are still allowed. But those two could eventually be called into question, and President Biden himself suggested legacy admissions should be.
Today, I'm directing the Department of Education to analyze what practices help build a more inclusive and diverse student bodies and what practices hold that back. Practices like legacy admissions and other systems that expand privilege instead of opportunity.
With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
So what do you have for us today, Tori?
Hey, Jeff. Hey, my DBL peeps. We are so excited to show you all of these deals today, and believe me, we got some good ones. So first up, let's head this way, yeah? We have the 2-pack Pop Sonic Smoothie hair removers. This deal will include 2 hair removers, and they're available in 3 colors. We got this white, we got lavender, which I love, and this blush. So this is a grooming tool. It's gonna help you take care of any unwanted hair so you can look and feel your best. You can say goodbye to waxing and shaving because this device is designed to easily remove that peach fuzz, you know, you get on the side of your face without pulling or tugging. Normally, this is $42. We have 2 for $8.
That might be the savings for the summer, huh, Tori? 81% savings?
81% savings. And you know what I love too? They're so small and compact, you throw them in your purse. This is travel size as well. It's perfect for when you really, really want to just clean up the face.
I love it, Tori. What else we got?
All right, next up, you need a massage. It's been long days in the garden. We've got the Homedics Foot and Calf Massager with heat. This deal will include 1 massager, and it has 3 intensity levels and 6 massage choices. Homedics, you guys have heard of them. They're a leader in wellness products for over 30 years. We rarely see this level of discount we have today. And because of the great deal, we do want you to know quantities are going to be extremely limited because normally this can be $350, Jeff.
Wow.
But we've got it for $129.99. That's a savings of up to 63%.
I got my eye on that product, Tori, because I always get cramps in my calf. Seriously, and this is something that would really help me out.
All right, follow me here because we're going to light up your life. We've got a 10-pack Mercury Innovation Smart Wi-Fi LED bulbs. This is a doorbuster deal, and it includes 10 LED bulbs, and these bulbs offer millions of color variations to find your favorite shade and brightness level. So you can use the simple app, Alexa, Google Assistant to make your adjustments from anywhere at any time. And at just $2 per LED bulb, this doorbuster deal is going to go fast. So normally this is $250, but we have the 10-pack for $20. That's a savings of up to 92%.
That's amazing. And Tori, you know what this is great for too?
What?
Halloween, you put it on orange. Christmas, you do the red and green. You change it seasonally.
Oh, that's so smart.
Any holiday you want, Tori.
Our last product is the Villanovum 6-piece bamboo from rayon sheet set. So let me tell you about this deal. It includes 1 flat sheet, 1 fitted sheet, and 4 pillowcases. The set, which I love, is available in 8 colors and in 4 different sizes. So with the variety of colors available, you're going to be able to match any bedroom decor. Sheets are always a top seller on Morning Save, and you cannot get the set anywhere else. So normally $130, but we got you for $29.99 to $39.99. That's a saving of up to 77%.
It's always great to have an extra set of sheets, am I right, when that unexpected company springs into town.
For sure.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even scan the QR code on your screen to take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Tori, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff.
Where hope finds help. Where courage meets conviction. Where makers make fans. We are Tegna, a family of local and national media brands that bring us together, serving the greater good of our communities. Where national know-how backs local business. Be in good company with Tegna.
Have either of you ridden horseback on a beach? That is a huge bucket list for me.
I feel like a huge hospital bill for you.
You are literally a Ken doll.
Wow.
His life.
No,
Thank
it's a
you.
compliment. Do I look relaxed?
Yeah.
It's moving. Sorry, we have a spider. Chris, it's moving. Can we just...
Y'all, seriously.
Sorry. Okay, let's get right to it.
I can't take this anymore.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Get real.
No. Y'all, just stop.
This is a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. Today we are looking back at some of our favorite stars who dropped by DBL in person, like Queer Eye for the Straight Guy star Carson Kressley, who was on our Valentine's Day show. Take a look.
Oh, happy Singles Awareness Day, as I like to call it. I like to be single, or as I like to call it, painfully alone. So it's been great. I do love it. I love romance. Look, I have presents for you.
Oh my God,
A rose for you.
Carson.
A rose for you.
Me too?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Carson. You're welcome. I'm a double.
Carson, I want your outfit is on point. Can you just come in front of the desk?
Yeah, show off.
Show the
thing. Make sure you get the shoes.
Get the shoes.
But look, they even have red bottoms. No detail left on thought about. Thank you so much. I used to be a model on the radio. Okay.
And Carson.
Enough about me.
We did not forget about you, my love.
Oh my gosh.
Show my
Thank
outfit
you
as
so
well.
much.
Oh, look at Sam's outfit. There you are, my love.
Thank you so much. I wanted jewelry, but this will do.
I know that you're a big Valentine's Day fan.
Yeah, I know.
Carson, tell him.
Well, I don't want to make a bad impression.
No. You couldn't possibly.
Okay, I hate Valentine's Day.
What?
No, let me go easy. Okay. I got my wife flowers. To the haters out there,
Bravo for you.
I got my wife flowers. I'm going to cook her an amazing dinner. I like to cook.
That
I don't
sounds
like
fantastic.
I don't like to be forced into buying something for a made-up holiday.
Right.
I want to treat my wife like a queen every day. Now I'm showing off. I'm just showing off for Carson.
I did see something on the interwebs, though, and it was a couple, and it says we're not celebrating Valentine's Day because we celebrate it every day. We say, I love you. They do nice things. I tell you how valuable you are and how important you are to me. So that's the flip side. So that's another way to look at it. But I think, it's fun to do a romantic dinner and buy presents. And I was at Whole Foods last night, getting a few items, and there were all these clueless straight guys, sorry. And they were in the flower area, and they were just standing there not knowing what to buy. And I felt like I had to be like Mother Teresa and be like, hold on, I'm gay. I can help you.
Did you help them?
I helped a couple.
That's good for you.
Yeah, and I said, no, don't pick those, pick these. And
Good for you.
I think I saved a couple marriages.
That was literally me yesterday, and if I would have turned around and Carson Kressley was there, I'd be like, where are the cameras at? Where are the cameras right now?
Yeah, let's tell everybody what we were saying while that was playing. And I just look at Carson Kressley, and he's like a five-tool player in baseball. He's interesting to look at. He's interesting to talk to.
Yep.
He's just charismatic, and he just has it. And there's a reason why every room he goes into, everybody's like, we need to have a camera on this man. He has everything.
He's in control a lot, very natural, really friendly. And when I sat here, I'm always next to the guests because I'm on the end. So I get to kind of talk to them. And he was as nice as could be. And I was hoping, don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk in real life. And he wasn't.
And you two really bonded.
We really did.
You really did.
We really.
I checked if he followed any of us afterwards. Just you.
Just me.
For the sake of the show, we should switch that up.
Right.
So the guest has a better experience, right? We've never had multiple guests come back.
No, we have. Yes, we have. Carson. Did he come back? Will you?
Will you please come back? Well, it's always great when stars come by our studio and start spilling the tea. Like the time director Kevin Smith came in, they kicked me off the panel.
Yep, they
Actually,
did.
This is weird that I'm introing this. And he talked about apparently attending J-Lo and Ben Affleck's wedding in Georgia. I was on the sidelines watching.
When somebody invites you to their wedding and you got to take 2 flights to get there and you have to wear special clothes.
Yeah, right.
I go out of my way to wear whatever the hell I want. And somebody's like, you got to wear white. And I'm like, oh man, I look terrible in white. I'm going to look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So it was a pain in the Once I got there though, everything was ameliorated because it was hands down one of the 5 most breathtaking moments I've ever experienced in my life. It truly, it was a storybook love, and they stuck the landing with this fantasy ending. It was beautiful, man. Like the kids really do love each other. They loved each other back then and stuff, and they went and had separate lives and did everything. And now have come back together and joined their lives. The way they included everybody and their family in the wedding, it was beautiful. Ben wrote this big speech that he read to her like during the reception. And I'm a huge Ben Affleck fan, obviously. I've worked with him many, and I like him as a person, but I also like him as a writer because he's very clever with the word of phrase and stuff, turn of phrase. And it was a long speech, but the whole time Jennifer was soaking it up because it's all about her and how wonderful she is. And I think the second person in the audience who was like this was me because I was like, oh, he's so clever. You rock, man. Tell me how much you love her.
Spoken like a true director. That's I had so many people after seeing that episode come up to me who loved Kevin Smith. We forget how certain people resonate, right? Because we remember like Mallrats and all those movies, and it reminds you of your childhood. So I was just shocked that even as much as we love Kevin Smith, that a lot of our viewers also did.
Well, we also didn't mention that y'all were getting a twofer there because Mary Lou Henner was on the panel.
I know. We love our Mary
And they
Lou.
were neighbors.
Yes.
Those two were neighbors. It was like a choose your own adventure.
And she
it's 6 degrees of DBL.
And he would go up to see her just to get to see her memory.
Right.
Her unbelievable memory.
I'm always interested that she never gets bored of that because you're like, what was happening December 16th, 1986? You would think she'd be like, if one more person. But she really does. It's really a cool thing, and I'm glad she shares her gift. But Kevin Smith, my little fun fact, I used to listen to his podcast, his first one, and I mentioned that, and he goes, oh, you know me from the old school. I was like, yeah, man.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, and I love when people, like, he wears his hat backwards, the same shirt, you know what I mean, Silent Bob. It's like, I like when people embrace who they are, right?
He
the characters.
loves J-Lo. He really spoke highly of her.
Well,
he did. Yeah.
That's good.
Really
That's good for balance.
That's
good for balance
Jennifer
on the
Garner,
show.
though.
Right.
In the past, he didn't really speak out in favor of Jennifer.
He's a
Garner.
pro J-Lo.
He's a pro J-Lo.
He really is. Well, we got to get the tea. Okay. We all loved having comedian Caroline Rhea in studio. She had us in stitches talking about her adventures of dating in her 50s. I was in stitches on the sidelines because I got booted from this one. So take a look.
I dated somebody in the military, and I didn't know that after sex you're supposed to say thank you for your service. So I did that. But he was an Army Ranger, but I think he had intimacy issues because after we had sex, I went to the bathroom and he parachuted out the window. So that was your, yeah.
Abort mission. That's so funny.
I don't understand dating at all. I literally get a text and I just say to my daughter, I don't know. I don't know what any of this means. She goes, no. And I'm like, what did I do? I did do something where I texted back what I thought was thumbs up, which is apparently the dumbest thing in the world. But I'd been told that a show I was doing got picked up, so I sent back like 20 thumbs up. And my daughter goes, why would you do that, Mommy? And I'm like, because I thought that was cool. And I'd sent the finger 20 times. Yeah, it's hard
to see.
You're a child and it's hard to see.
It is.
I literally, mine's like eye exam one letter. Like, I'm like, what is that?
And even the thumbs up is considered sarcastic. We did a part of the show, and like, if you send a thumbs up, like I'll see you tonight, and you send a thumbs up, people are like, what's her problem?
Condescending.
It's supposed to be condescending now. Even the thumbs up isn't okay.
So this leads into my next question for you, and we've had a huge debate.
Thanks. I'm sorry, I have to go delete 50. She's rethinking all of them. One guy I went out with, and he's like, and I wanted to say thank you so much, and it autocorrected to thank you. And I was like, no. I know, thank you.
You use that word a lot.
No, it doesn't.
It auto-corrected. That's hilarious.
You are literally a Ken doll. Okay, wait, I'm sorry.
He's a good-looking dude.
Wow.
His life.
No,
Thank
it's a compliment.
I know.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I didn't quickly ask, what are your signs? What are you?
Leo.
Okay.
Cancer.
Of course, Leo, the leader.
Cancer.
Sitting beside, getting your feelings hurt. Okay, and? Gemini, not even listening, distracted by the shiny lights.
Capricorn.
Yeah, of course. You want to know the answer, and you're like, it was one or the other. Sorry, am I not?
We have a delay. It's okay.
Oh, good.
I kind of want to
react.
Yeah, could you break
which?
You haven't met us. Could you break us down a little bit? Could we go a little bit deeper into that? We could talk about Serena TJ
The
Which.
reason why we reacted to you calling Jeff a Ken doll is because we don't like to hear him be complimented.
No, we don't.
I do.
Why?
I think we should see the poster we just made of me. You'll have a different story.
Are you an ex-athlete?
He's an ex-Big Brother star.
And athlete.
you are
And a football star. Yeah.
I can answer my own questions too.
Not with the Leo and a Capricorn.
You're right.
But yes, I played college football.
Oh, really? Where?
small school, Aurora University, right outside Chicago.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Don't downplay
It's Division III. It's not like I went to Michigan,
you know. D3 athlete.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Oh.
This is about you, not about me. But I appreciate the compliments because I feel how steaming the ladies are.
I'm so mad. Wait, did she just shoot down D3 athletes?
No,
she was
complimenting me.
very
But
Oh.
just like in that clip, Sam and Tori left when she started complimenting me. Literally, they just walked back to the table. It's so weird.
During the break, Jeff was like, Tori has a visceral reaction when somebody's nice to me.
When they used to be like, oh, I know him from Big Brother. Can you take our picture with him? I'd be like, I guess. Take the picture.
Like season 1.
Yeah.
I will say this, like the way Caroline talks to us is the way comics talk in the green room. She's just so relaxed.
Very real.
It's very cool. Like that, none of that was scripted. That's just how she rolls. I like that.
I get a kick out of your comic threads on your text.
Oh, yes. You know we roll.
Coming up on DBL, we're talking with David Arquette about his dark comedy series about a nun taking on AI. That's coming up next.
In cases involving Harvard and the University of North Carolina, the Supreme Court struck down race-based affirmative action in college admissions, ending a nearly 60-year history of using race as a factor in creating more diverse student bodies. The court ultimately decided that the admissions processes at both schools are unconstitutional. In the court's majority opinion, Chief Justice John Roberts said that for too long, university admissions boards have relied too heavily on a person's race over their skills and the challenges they've overcome in determining who to admit. So let's verify. Are colleges now required to ignore all references to race in the admissions process? Our sources are Students for Fair Admissions, Inc. versus President and Fellows of Harvard College, Students for Fair Admissions, Inc. versus University of North Carolina, and Ben Barton, a distinguished professor of law at the University of Tennessee College of Law. The court's decision prohibits colleges and universities from using race as a determining factor in their admissions process. But in the court's ruling, Chief Justice John Roberts also says nothing in this opinion should be construed as prohibiting universities from considering an applicant's discussion of how race affected his or her life, be it through discrimination, inspiration, or otherwise. Which is confusing. Can race be discussed or not? So we called up constitutional law expert Ben Barton. He says Roberts' opinion means that schools aren't completely banned from considering race, but it puts the burden on the applicants.
If a student wants to write an essay about how they've suffered from racial discrimination and how they've grown from that, they're allowed to do that, and the university is allowed to read that, and the university is allowed to say, well, that seems like a good reason to let this person into the university.
So we can verify no. The Supreme Court ruling does not require colleges to ignore all references to race in college admissions. It still allows colleges to consider race if it is brought up by an applicant as part of a personal experience, like a personal essay. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
I mean, I go in your house and you have a lot of hip-hop memorabilia.
Yes.
It's not original, but if you were...
Wow.
Do you want to move on?
The chicken has come to bite the pig in the butt.
I need a bumper sticker made out of that. We need to see Al or Jeff doing some exercises.
Real fast, watch this.
Can you do this? Oh my God. Welcome back. We love it when actor David Arquette drops by DBL, and we recently chatted to him about his new show and some of his best advice he's ever gotten throughout his entire career. Take a look. David Arquette, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
We love you. Mr. Arquette, so many things. All right, let me ask you this. Mrs. Davis is tackling faith and technology, and I want to get your take on all the AI advancements we're seeing in the last few months. I looked up We Didn't Start the Fire and had AI do it for 2023, and within 30 seconds, I had a whole new Billy Joel song. It's weird, but are you scared, or do you like it?
I don't know. There's something unknown and a little scary about it. I don't really use it that much. I haven't downloaded it on my phone because I don't know how much power it's going to have to, like, I don't know, go into my phone or whatever. But I don't know. When we were doing this thing, it was about AI, and we had heard about AI, but it wasn't sort of live like it is now.
Right.
And now it's live, and now this show's coming out. So it does have another kind of scary element. But I think technology in general is pretty good. I believe in science, and I hope we just follow our better angels in all these new technological advances.
I've never met anyone as cute as this person.
Are you crushing me?
Yeah, it's very cute.
Oh my gosh, David. We apologize.
Yeah, we really do apologize.
No, I meant
You're cute too. Everyone's cute there.
We're all cute.
Yes, yes. Okay, so Damon Lindelof co-created this show. I'm sorry, now I feel weird. Co-created this show, and all his projects like Lost and The Leftovers are shrouded in mystery. How much do you know about what's happening in the show while you are making it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really complicated show. It's really big, and it's an action drama, but it has these elements of heart. And Betty Gilpin is just such an incredible lead in this. I play her father in it, a character named Monty, who's the magician.
Yes.
And, I make a lot of, bad parenting moves that create trauma in her past that she has to deal with. I got to work opposite Elizabeth Marvel, too, so I was just in awe of how talented they were. Really exciting.
I love it. Right up my alley. But I also love the Scream movies. So I have to ask you this, because I heard that you admitted to having major FOMO watching the new Scream movie after your character was killed in the last one. Sorry, spoiler alert. What did you like the most about playing that character Dewey for so many years? Such a beloved character.
Oh man, what I loved most was working with Wes Craven. Was just a dream come true. He was so talented. But then playing the role, I just love the fact that he was a police officer that got no respect. A point of authority, and he just can't get any respect, and he tries really hard and he fails a lot. I don't know, there was some humorous symbolism there that I really appreciated.
Well, you mentioned Wes Craven there, so I gotta ask you, you said that he gave you some incredible advice on the set of your first movie that really just changed the trajectory of your life. Can you tell us what that advice was?
Yeah, my mother was dying at the time, so I was going through a really hard time. And he was like, David, I just really want to see you get your stuff together so that you can thrive. I know Courtney at the time loved you, likes you, and I really would like to see you guys work something out. And just through that, I got my life together a lot more and made the relationship work, and then ended up, with our beautiful 18-year-old daughter, Coco.
She's 18.
And then, yeah, she's 18 now. So, it's been a real gift to be able to have worked with him and worked with Courtney, and then obviously to have Coco and my two other kids, Charlie and Gus.
David, we are always so excited to see what you're working on. Congratulations. You always keep us on our toes. DBL Nation, check out Mrs. Davis Thursdays on Peacock for more mystery and magic from David. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
So nice.
Great speaking to you guys.
The 4th of July celebrates America's Independence Day. According to the National Retail Federation, 42% of Americans plan to watch fireworks or some kind of community celebration. Others may put on their own show. While fireworks aren't legal to purchase in every state, the American Pyrotechnics Association says consumers in the U.S. bought 436 million pounds of fireworks in 2022. But what happens to fireworks you buy but don't use? Let's verify. Do fireworks expire? Our sources are the Library of Congress, Julie L. Heckman, Executive Director of the American Pyrotechnics Association, and 3 fireworks retailers. According to the Library of Congress, black powder is what makes fireworks, and our sources say black powder doesn't expire. But when it's exposed to water, it does become ineffective. Julie L. Heckman with the American Pyrotechnics Association says fireworks packaging can degrade over time, which can expose the black powder inside to water. To keep your fireworks safe and sparkling bright for as long as possible, Heckman says they need to be stored properly in a cool, dry place, like a plastic container or a plastic garbage bag. Retailers Uncle Sam's Fireworks and Dynamite Fireworks agree. Dynamite Fireworks says they will last for years when stored properly. So we can verify that fireworks don't expire, but they do lose their spark when exposed to moisture. If you want to toss out some old fireworks, our sources say the safest choice is to let the fireworks sit in a bucket of water for a day so they don't accidentally ignite in the trash. With your Verify, I'm Ariante Till. Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter answers your questions, clarifies what's true and false, and even includes a daily fun fact. Go to verifythis.com/email.
Welcome back to DBL. I've been known for occasionally getting expressions a little mixed up or saying them completely wrong, or so I've been told. Great, take a look. The offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills.
He's not offensive.
What?
Just kidding.
What? No, tell me. Offensive.
You're like, he's offending a lot offensive, this coordinator.
Offensive. I don't know that.
He didn't get his Twitter taken away.
What do you say? Offensive.
The very offensive.
Yeah.
Offense, guys.
Yes.
Offense, defense, offense. If you were to go away overbroad, let's say study overbroad for a year, what are you laughing at?
I think it's just abroad, not overbroad.
You said overbroad.
Although he goes head first, feet first. Every single, I know that's not a saying, but
yeah.
The first one is definitely right.
We know what it's like working in a toxic work culture for a variety of different reasons. Not here, but we know that one bad apple can spoil the barrel.
No.
That's it. No, that's good.
No, how would you spoil the barrel?
We can spoil the bunch.
The bushel.
One bad apple will spoil the bushel.
The bushel. The bushel? It's the bushel.
It's
Thank
the
you.
bunch.
No, it's the bushel. So my point is, when I met JP, I knew you're Monica's man.
Really?
Yes. And I got my bow out and I went, boop, and then he got poked.
It's hard.
I'm not going to see you bounce and chip. We're coming up on 7. You be careful.
I mean, it could be
jumping ship.
Bouncing. Luckily, the fisherman was able to kick the shark away. If you hit between the eyes, it discombobbles them, so that's what they say to do.
Okay. I think
it's fisherman, not fisherman.
A picture's worth 1,000 words. Boom! Thanks, Kelly.
That was the first quote you got right like in 2001 or 2000.
But then pointed to Kelly like she was like,
no, I
2001.
No, 2021.
You're bringing it way back. Okay.
It's been a while.
Always Jeff.
I'm not even concerned with what we're talking about. It's more fun when people mess up.
Oh, it's the best. We all get so excited, and if like the camera's on something else, we'll all look at each other.
For example, we could have a camera on her gigantic cookie. Did you get back from the town fair? Why did you have a big bear with you as well?
I have one of those big bears. The ring on the bottle neck. I won.
Yeah, but then you got to carry it all day.
I heard those were sometimes rigged.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then how did I get? Carnival games are rigged?
That's terrible.
But Jeff, she didn't even confirm it. She said she heard.
I heard.
What do you think they're
Someone
playing?
told me they take the basketball hoop and smash it this way.
Yeah. You should be able to ask them to actually show you it going in.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
Or
and
you
if they
should just
don't
have
do
fun
it.
and understand.
No.
Fun and understand. We're in it for the prizes.
Thank you.
You're in it. You leave your home for those prizes, Erica.
I
Erica,
will leave my home. I want. Yes, I want to win. I'll even if I give it away. I probably won't take it home.
We'll be right back.
Summer is the perfect season to grill or have a cookout, but could your meal also include a side of salmonella or other bacteria? We verify 5 ways to have a healthy picnic using these sources. Let's start with the prep work. Before making the food, start with a clean slate. Our sources say the first line of defense is to wash your hands and surfaces. Next, make sure to separate cutting boards, plates, and utensils for raw meats to avoid cross-contamination. Third, make sure to cook meats to a safe temperature. This is between 145 and 165 degrees, depending on what you're eating. Now that the food is properly cooked, it's time to dig in, but watch the clock. Bacteria multiplies quickly when food is left at room temperature, so either use warmers, put it in the fridge, or eat it fast. Finally, we all love chips and dip, but don't be a double dipper. You could spread germs and bacteria, which could make someone sick. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Julia says we need to see our Jeff doing some exercises.
I'll also some yoga for you.
Yeah.
Real fast, watch this.
Can you do this? Oh my God. Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119
The Supreme Court has banned universities from admitting students based on race. The decision prompted outcry from critics who say it'll hurt colleges' ability to maintain a diverse student body. And they argue the court is allowing a practice that harms diversity to continue: legacy admissions. That's when a school gives a student a boost in the admissions process because their family members went to that same school. Studies have shown that at many elite schools like Harvard, legacy students are overwhelmingly white. So let's verify. Did the Supreme Court allow legacy university admissions to continue? Our sources are the majority ruling written by Chief Justice John Roberts and Ben Barton, a law professor at the University of Tennessee, who has also served on the school's admissions board. The answer is yes. The ruling allows legacy admissions to continue. The ruling dealt only with the practice of giving preference to applicants based solely on their race. And while legacy admissions have racial implications, they aren't solely about race.
Those may statistically result in racial bias. You can figure out which one it is. But that is not based on race, and so that would be fine. And it's the same thing with poverty. You're allowed to take first-generation students or poverty into account.
The ruling, in fact, explicitly left room for factors adjacent to race to be considered, saying, for instance, a student could write an essay about overcoming racial barriers as long as the consideration was based on their actions, not just race. So now, race-based admissions practices have been deemed unconstitutional, but other preferences, such as economic status, where the student is from, and legacy status are still allowed. But those two could eventually be called into question, and President Biden himself suggested legacy admissions should be.
Today, I'm directing the Department of Education to analyze what practices help build a more inclusive and diverse student bodies and what practices hold that back. Practices like legacy admissions and other systems that expand privilege instead of opportunity.
With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your questions for us. Al, here's a question for you.
All
Judy
right,
wants to
let's do it.
know, what's your favorite takeout food and why?
Thai food. I love it. I worked at a Thai restaurant. I love the spice. I get it Thai hot.
You get Thai hot. You can stand Thai hot?
I've worked at that restaurant for a couple of years. That's how they used to eat it afterwards. So yeah, I can do the Thai hot.
What do you do to tame the flame?
Oh, I like it hot. I like the spice. But I will get a little Thai coffee as well. But I like that little creamer in that coffee to kind of cool down a little bit. But yeah, I dig it.
When I went to Thailand, do we have another question?
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah,
it's
sorry.
I'd rather hear the Thailand story.
They just go, I like hot, and they go, this isn't for white people. And I'm like, okay, fair enough.
I think I told you really quickly, I pitched a show, I wanted to go around the world testing hot sauces. My old agent told me that somebody tried that and they burned a hole through their stomach.
Yeah.
Like you cannot, like our little American stomachs, you're not ready for the chili peppers that are all over the world. Like, yes, we need to keep a real Tabasco over here.
Yeah.
Real quickly, we're out of time. Sorry, Tori.
DBL's new every day.
Tori, say what you're going to say. Tori, go.
Bye. Go, Tori.
Okay, it was